Hello and welcome to Duke's United show for the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest post-match reaction. The Duke will be with us shortly. He is literally just on his way back from Stretford Paddock, doing a little recording there. So I'm your host, Gar. I'll be taking us through the next couple of minutes until he gets here. So we're through. First final in a while. First look at trophy wear since 2017. Got to be ecstatic with that, as I am. Most happy. We're on our way to Wembley. It's a solid performance from the boys again. Not the greatest game in the first half. We'll get into that properly in a minute. My impressions on the actual game itself, but fantastic to be there. Ten Hag, has to be said, has come in and worked miracles for us. The foul. What can I say, mate? Man of match, mate. 10 out of 10. So, this is solid. Couldn't ask for anything more from Ten Hag at the moment. He's come in. He's worked an absolute miracle with his team. Got rid of what isn't deadwood per se, but players that weren't working, players that were causing havoc in the team. Moved 5 or 6 on that's really freed up the dressing room a little bit. Obviously, dealt with the Ronaldo situation. That was a massive deal. And first available bit of silverware, he's got us there into the final. You literally can't ask for any more than that. So couldn't be happier. I mean, transfer window in January has been a little bit light, but obviously we spent all our money in the summer, so that's fair enough. And hopefully some bits that comes in and can show us his worth, because although it hasn't worked for him in Bayern, he's a solid player. Really mustn't grumble. I know that there's little bits and pieces I'm going to get into as we go through the performance. Our total team game still isn't quite there yet. If we come against better teams, it could be exposed. But every test pretty much he's come against, he's passed with flying colours, Ten Hag, and long may it continue. So obviously the big news for today's game, apart from getting to Wembley, Sancho returning. Fantastic to see the young lad back on the field. He looked fresh. He looked hungry, energy. The commentators at one point said he was playing through the centre. I'm not quite sure if it was straight through the centre. It still looked to the right to me, but picked up the ball, winning the ball at feet, saw those silky dribbling skills that he's got, taking players on. Nothing quite worked out for him, but a solid 30 minutes. And hopefully, whatever it is Ten Hag's had him doing, wherever he's been with the mental training as well as the physical training, is really going to pay off, because with the run of games we've got coming up, we need a fully fit, all guns firing Jadon Sancho, because it becomes a real weapon in the war chest if we can get even 65-70% of the player that he was at Borussia Dortmund coming in, still fighting on 4 fronts technically. Obviously, the league's pretty much out of the question now. But 3 cup competitions, 1 final, we need him playing to the best of his ability, and we need him slotting into his squad. So it will be interesting to see it going forward if he does start taking a more central role with Bruno moving out to the right. I don't like Bruno Fernandes on the right personally, but if this is what Ten Hag thinks is the best, so be it. You mustn't question him anymore. It's a bit like Conor McGregor. I get saying Conor McGregor couldn't do things, and he kept doing them. So, first half, let's move into the first half quickly. Disappointing, lackluster on the ball, as you say, sloppy in possession. And our sloppiness in possession, our inability to find a penetrating pass or actually break down a team and just lose the ball in almost static positions in the centre midfield, really leads to the opposition being able to find a way into the game. Obviously, Heaton has put out a 1 quality save. Forest got through another time and let us off. Against a stronger team, these aren't chances that are going to be wasted. We're lucky that Forest were wasteful in the night. Obviously, we had the 3-0 buffer anyway, so it didn't really matter. But each week, as the game's been getting better, the finer details are becoming more apparent. The things that separate Manchester United from the top teams at the moment, and this is one of them. Our literal, as I got, same as this, but lacking the killer edge. Final ball being sloppy, not getting the right ball off at the right time, not seeing the right man, not like who's making the run through for us. It becomes very difficult not to notice these when everything else is going so well. So it's only a small thing, considering we've won 2-0 on the night, 5-0 in aggregate, obviously. But these little things will help us going forward, especially when we come against teams like Barcelona, when we come up against 4 or 5 games inside 10 days, 12 days. We're really going to need the killer edge as I've got here to be absolutely as sharp as possible, so that we can put teams to bed early. It'd be nice to be 2-3 up at half time against some of the lesser teams so that we can start playing a Palestri, giving McTominay some minutes, giving Maguire some minutes as tonight to keep the legs fresh in the team because we've got a lot of games coming up, a lot of games. Last big point for me that I noticed, that Fred, impressive, no two ways about it. Much maligned player. I am often someone who speaks ill of the pastor, but a solid performance from him tonight, and this is what we need to see from him with Eriksen out. As I said, hopefully Sabitzer comes in and can do bits for us. But Fred, very impressive in what he was meant to do. He's like broke up play well. His passing for once was excellent, very crisp, very clean on the ball. Gave a lot of energy in the centre. The one thing that he'll give us that Eriksen doesn't give us is the energy in the centre. Eriksen is a major loss, and I don't think there's anyone that we could use to replace him. But Fred, at the moment, one game in, looking exceptional. Obviously, he's got an understanding of Casemiro, another player that we can't lose now. Understanding Casemiro from their national team outings. And what we need from Fred is exactly this. Hard-working performance, 7.5, 8 out of 10 game that lets Bruno worry about what he needs to do in the attacking third, and lets Casemiro take care of what he needs to do in the defensive third, and Fred just cleaning up everywhere else. So a solid performance for him. I'm very impressed. Overall, a great team performance. There's no two ways about that. It has to be said that Nottingham Forest are no joke anymore. They're a weaker team, yes, especially without their number one goalkeeper and a couple of players missing. And obviously, they're very unlucky that Lingard got injured just before kickoff. But a 5-0 win shouldn't be scoffed at, no matter what the opposition. Solid performance over both legs. And Newcastle in the final, a tough proposition, a very tough proposition. Their last final was us in the FA Cup. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That 1999. That's madness to me. But obviously, we won that 2-0, if you're old enough to remember at the time, on our way to the treble. I still think we've got the goods to do Newcastle though. They're in a team in transition just like us, but I think we've got a better unit, a better manager, better tactics, and if our players perform to the best of their ability on the day, then we should definitely beat Newcastle. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Manchester United, but we'll get there in the pre-match. Obviously, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, get that algorithm working for us. Leave a comment, tell us how we can do better if you don't like it, just to get the algorithm working for us. Now we're going to move into the player ratings. Like I said, Nathan should be here for this pretty soon, but I've got his ratings anyway, just in case not. So we're going to start with David De Gea, man between the sticks. I gave De Gea a 7 today. Heaton. It should be Heaton there. I gave Heaton a 7 today. I thought he did a solid performance. Oh, and here you look at that. Just as I'm pulling up the ratings, here he is.
What's happening, peeps? What's happening? Just watched that game. Lovely. How's it going, Gar? How's it going? Just been watching you, listening to you. And good review on the game so far, to be fair. What you said, exactly what you said was good. And I was just, remember what I said before about Rashford, Martial, and Sancho coming on at the same time.
Yeah. Changed the game for us, Dave. Changed the game, man. Absolutely, because our game was dead before, and this is what I was getting into. This is what I was trying to get into about a point about we were lackluster in the first half, man. Those three really changed the game. But while I've got you, we'll get the ratings in a minute. Sancho quickly, obviously, first game back, not loads from him, but I liked what I saw. He looked like he was energetic. He looked like he wanted the ball to feet. What did you say?
I just ordered some food, man. But yeah. Sancho, coming back, it was just nice to see him back, isn't it, on the field and looking lively. Like, I didn't care if he made any mistakes. I didn't care what happened. I was just happy that he was there and happy that it was part of the link-up play between Martial, Rashford, and Sancho and Bruno. Bruno got even better as it happened. Even him on the right. He went on the right and seeing Sancho through the middle and kind of going out to the right a bit as well. It was great. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Right. Bye-bye.
No, yeah, I'm very similar, mate. Yeah,
it was good. Let me get in the car and make it a bit more quieter. So I can hear.
Exactly what Swirebanks is saying. Good to see Sancho back. That's exactly. I agree exactly the same, James. It's excellent to see the fella back. And as I was saying, very needed Raj, he'll be back in a minute. I'll put it back up for him in a minute. They're just
Boom.
striking the road.
There we are.
So I've got Heaton coming in if we're into the player ratings. Oh, something's going on here. I've gone 7 for Heaton. If you went 6,
7
mate,
for Heaton, I've got the same.
You went
I give him a 6 tonight. Yeah, that was because he had that great save. To be fair, I got to give him that. He had that great save, and he didn't put a foot wrong. To be fair, maybe I was a bit wrong giving him a 6. That's a bit unfair. He did actually have that great save. I remember now, and let's give him a 7. Let's give him a 7. I agree. 7.
Yeah. It's a solid game. Done nothing wrong. Made the mistake, didn't it? You can't really say nothing more. Another one we've got slightly different. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I've gone 7. You've gone 6. I thought he had another good game today, Nath. I thought he looked solid in defence. To be fair, mate. So
yeah, he did look defensively solid. It was just one of where the odd few passes which were a bit wayward, and a few times he lost the ball in possession.
Yeah.
I just thought, right, I'm going to give him a little bit of a 6 right there. Even though he was calm and collective. He was calm and collected, and he was comfortable. But just because of that, because I haven't been seeing that in recent games, and then seeing a little bit of that today, I just thought, you know what? Okay, a little bit off. But still a good game, still a clean sheet. You can't. What can you ask for? Another clean sheet. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Just before you come on, it's another one in games. The Man United at this real nice tipping point now where we're winning 2-0, but I know there's more there, man. I know I can see there's more. So I'm not giving people 8s or 9s because we don't need because
exactly.
I know Aaron Wan-Bissaka can give so much more, and Eric Ten Hag looks like the best actual player coach we've had in a long time because he seems to be getting performances out of everyone, man. Anyway, now we're into the same. Luke Shaw, another 7 performance from Shaw. This is what he does, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just exactly the same performance from Shaw.
He's just going to do everything he needs to do under pressure, keeping the ball, no problems there. Even like one-on-one with the defender, quick or not, he's still going to be there. Didn't get outdone in behind. He didn't get nothing. It just everything was perfect from him today. Apart from the early crossing which went off the pitch. Apart from that, but he's he had a good game, man. He had a really good game again. Solid performance.
Yeah. The thing is, he's only 27 as well, and this is what I like about Luke Shaw is we've got a good 4 or 5 top quality years to come out of him if he keeps this form up. So, the Rolls Royce for Varane, both giving him a 7. It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is when it comes to Rafa. He rarely put. Do you know what I like about him? Is he rarely puts a foot wrong ever. He may not do loads of stuff during the game, but when he's called upon, he gets it done no matter what, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like when you're a serial winner and you know exactly what's needed no matter what the occasion. That's what he does, mate. He just comes and plays in these games and there's no problem for him. Like, it's another game. Like, getting to the final, it's another game for him. It's nothing. Even the final is going to just be another game. Like, whatever, guys, listen, just treat them like they're Man United, Man City. Treat them like they're Liverpool. Treat them like they're Arsenal. Maybe Arsenal and City nowadays. Forget about Liverpool. Yeah. And and we'll do our jobs. Simple. We'll do our jobs, and that's what he's all about.
Yeah, no, solid player. I would have loved to have had him a couple of years younger as well, so we could have had the best of the best out of him. But what a player! 32 mil as well. Looking back after a shaky first year, this may become one of the best signings that we've made in the last few years. To be fair, for Ren. So both got 7 for Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez, bad man.
Oh mate, he don't give no quarter to no one. He just goes through players, gets the ball every time. There's the pictures.
He's a king. He's a king at the back. The absolute king. The boy just again, he's another one who you can just fully depend on the ball, no matter what happens. His keeping of the ball is ridiculous at the back. He's opened up at the angles and he just does what he needs to do again. It's just like every single game he's doing the right thing. And this is what I've always seen in Man United players. Like, players like this that come in your side and they just do the right thing the majority of the time. You never really have to moan about stuff. And it's lovely. It's lovely to every week score 2 or 3 goals and have clean sheets every week because these boys are playing ball and defending really well. Loving it.
No, he's solid again. 40 Saint Mill. I wondered if he'd be worth it at the time. The geezer's turned out to be an absolute magician for us. Another solid player. So, and another solid signing. Talking of which, sorry, there it is. Casemiro. So Casemiro, I got 8. You went 7 with Cas this week, mate. But I thought he was absolutely imperious form again, mate. Superb.
Yeah, he was. He did everything he needed to do, and keeping the ball moving in all areas. It's like, when he plays like he plays now, it's like that's just the norm for him. That's what it is now. It's like this is just the norm. Like a 7, he has to bag 2 goals now to get me a 9. Like I know normally he's getting a 9, but nowadays he has to just bag 2 goals, mate, because he's an absolute don now. His performances are always like minimum 8s and stuff like that. So there's no wonder why you gave him an 8. No wonder. I'm not surprised whatsoever.
It was just a calming influence again, Nathan. Honestly, that Arsenal game would have been so different if we had him in that team. So different.
Yeah.
His one-touch passing is a joke. All right, so on to Fred, who actually, I thought Fred had a decent game. 7, I gave him, mate. You actually went 7 as well. I feel he filled into that. I thought he filled into that role really well, Nathan. I already said my piece. I honestly thought that he really done the job today that he needed to do. So.
Yeah, he complimented Casemiro very well, didn't he? That's what we knew he was gonna do because he plays with him in Brazil, and so I wasn't worried about that. And the fact that we've got a system, we have a structure, we have all that. We know that whoever comes in, wherever they are playing, there's movement everywhere. So you're gonna have options to pass the ball. That was the difference why so many players were seen as not good. It's because they had no options. When you have no options, you can't keep the ball no matter what anyway. So Ten Hag has demanded options, demanded everyone's fit enough to make moves and run and know where exactly where they got to be. And Fred is reaping the benefits of that because he couldn't have been wanted by Man City. He couldn't have been playing at that club and doing well. And then coming to United and be as bad as he was, at times. Exactly, yeah. So he's really, really come on. And I think he's a good squad player to have in your side now. I think we should get him to keep him in there. I think we got to keep him.
No, 100%. Solid little player. Solid player. And what we said right on Bruno Fernandes. Both of us gone with an 8. Another great game from Bruno. Solid performance everywhere on the pitch. For me, even though he didn't score, get an assist, man of the match, Bruno, today. So I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, 100%. When he went to the right, he even played better. Like, everything started clicking after 60 minutes once the big boys come on. I call them the big boys because I think Rashford, Martial, Sancho, that's the pre-season 3 that we had that were causing trouble. And I think if they can stay fit, I think Ten Hag is going to have a problem because they will be his front 3. I can't see... I can see, obviously, Garnacho, for how good he is, he's not going to be doing what Rashford's doing. So he'd want to sit on the bench, but then it'd be great to have a Garnacho come on for Rashford. And then the same goes for Weghorst. Like, you can see, like, Martial's not been playing. He's been injured. He's been in and out. He's been on bad form. He's done all of that, and he's still second top scorer. He comes back in, scores again. And you can see the link-up play with Rashford, Sancho. It's another level. Like, whatever you say about him, it still is another level. So as long as we got Weghorst as well, when he does get his injuries, let Weghorst play. But when Martial's fit, we've got to find a way of getting him his minutes as well, and letting him do damage as well. So, yeah, Bruno, he really did help out. And that outside of the football to Rashford, but that was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, another great game for him. And moving on to Antony, who also I thought done all right tonight. Another half decent game. We both went 7. So I think you saw what I saw, which was him slowly getting better. We don't need to get into the Antony debate proper. We'll do that Thursday tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, on the 8 o'clock main show. We'll be getting deep down on Antony. But just today's game specifically, as you see him, I thought he was all right.
Yeah, I felt like it was really what's the word? Very positive, and feeling
Good
like my morale is up there now. Like, my morale is there. He did the spin again. He's doing little skills. They're all coming. All the tricks are coming back out. And the fact that I'm no longer thinking of going on the outside, it makes me feel a bit better now. Like, you know, like hoping that you're going to go on the outside and do bits. I'm like, no, cut inside, do something. Cut inside, link up with your man. Cut inside, do what you're doing. So that's what I'm thinking now. So I'm not expecting things that he can't do. And it makes a lot of difference. So, yeah, in this game, I felt like he did okay. He did pretty well. And he deserved 7.
No, yeah, 100%. Garnacho, we've gone a little different. I went at 6 on Garnacho. You've gone a 7, but it's a very similar score. Quite a game, in my opinion, for Garnacho.
I'll tell you why. Because early on in the game, he was looking like the only player who was doing bits. And then, not really much was coming from it. But if you was to look at the whole team as a whole, if I was giving certain players a 6 and Garnacho was better than them, I had to give him a 7. That's why I gave him a 7. But that's really why. I didn't think we played amazingly today, but I did think it was him and Antony who were the main players at the beginning. And then as the game wore on and then players changed, I thought everything went better. And then Bruno became the main man. So, yeah, Garnacho for me, it's like a high 6/7. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, he didn't really set the world alight, but he was lively.
Yeah, one of them games. I know exactly what I mean. Again, Weghorst, slightly different. I went 5, you went 6. I thought we had a very quiet game. And the thing with Weghorst is I've been very generous with him about not getting chances. But when he gets the chances, he's got to put them away. When he gets clear chances, he's got to put them away. He should have put that one away he should have put it away in the first half, mate. He definitely should have put it away.
That header was a tough one, though. That header was a tough one, and he got a good angle on it.
Man. He's meant to be a specialty and everything, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I get you. I just felt like you're not going to get much more than what you've got here from him. Like, his hold-up play, one time he lost the ball. I didn't like that part where he should have held it up better because there was some great passage of play with Bruno, Shaw, Fred, and then the ball got played into him, and then he just controlled it well. He was in a good position, and he just lost it, and I was like, no, you got to hold up the ball better there, mate. But in terms of like his general hold-up play was okay. And then he had that header which hit the post, and he was working hard to get in between the defenders for any balls that come in. But again, we're not a well-oiled machine in terms of providing for our strikers. So for him, I can understand why you gave him a 5. I'm going to give him a 6 because I felt he done well for the header. Should have scored. Well, not should have scored. I thought he done well to be able to kind of maneuver to get the header and then direct it. But yeah, it's just what you're gonna get, isn't it? It's just okay. It's never gonna be an amazing striker for us anyway. So yeah.
Well, listen, you're giving the 3 subs 7 each. Do you want to talk about them as a unit or individually? Martial, Sancho, and Rashford coming on.
I want to talk about them as a unit together. Because
so you gave them all 7, same as me, mate. 3 7s across the board. So.
Yeah, we were total different team when they came on. It's like it's all fluid. It's all easily. You can easily break them down. Like whoever got on the ball, it was like pop, 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 pop. Yeah, you keep moving. You move there. You get it. Flick it around the corner. Give it to me. Bang. Put. And it's just like everyone's mind is on another level, and everyone's ability to do what they want to do is on another level, and it made it easy. And look, we got the 2 goals quick and easy. So, yeah, I was just loving seeing what I saw. Sancho coming back, looking with a smile on his face and just looking like he just wants to enjoy his football again. So that was great. Martial playing the way he plays and obviously not looking like he's exerting himself too much, but still getting his goal, still linking up well. And then Rashford, who is looking like he's exerting himself all the time, he was probably, they were all pretty good.
He was the quietest, Dave, but he was dangerous. Every time he had the ball at his feet, he looked dangerous.
Exactly.
Mate, so
you took the words out of my
mouth. They changed the game completely. We were floundering before the 3 came on, and then those 3 absolutely livened the place up. So it's a great little connection before the 3. And I agree with you. Hopefully, that actually is our front 3 going forwards. Like once they're all fit and ready. So finally, then the big man, Eric Ten Hag. I've gone 9. You've gone 10. Do you know 10, what? Mate. I should have gone 10. No, I should have gone 10. I agree with you. 100%. I should have gone 10.
It's flawless, mate. It's flawless.
Yeah.
Flawless again. You know what, Garth? Look, man. He's gone and brought in a player that he needed to bring in emergency. He's gone and played a strong side, knowing that if he slips up here against this team, it could have been a very different night. He picked the right players, took off the right players, and then brought on the right players as well. It's like everything was perfect and won the game clean sheet once again. Like every decision made, perfect. Can't ask for no more. Perfect. 10.
Yeah,
10,
no,
mate.
I agree, man. Yeah, as soon as I saw you put a 10, I was like, do you know what? It is a 10. It has to be a 10. It really does have to be a 10, man. Because exactly everything you said, we made a cup final, first time in a while, hopefully the first trophy in a while. So quickly before we go, obviously we'll do the big pre-match when the cup final comes round. But what's your score against Newcastle? If we're full teams, if we had everyone fit and available, firing.
Well, I think if everyone's fit and firing, we should be able to win that game like 2-1. I think we could see a tight game, a one goal in it to win it. I think a 2-1. I think they're a good side. But if we're on our game, we should be able to beat them. And end of the day, we don't want to go 1-0 down to a team like that because it will be a tough ask to get back in it. But we've got enough to get goals against them kind of boys. I think they're similar to a Tottenham kind of team that are not losing stupid games. You know, like Tottenham, they're not supposed to lose some of these games, and they are. But not Newcastle. They're similar to Tottenham, but not losing those stupid games. So
yeah.
That's why they're where they're at. So they've done well. They've done well.
No, I think we get him. Yeah, I think we get him. All right, well, that's all the time we've got. Nate's food's going to get cold otherwise.
Yeah.
We're back tomorrow, 8 p.m. for the main show with all the topics and all the gossip from this week. Obviously, we'll be discussing a bit of Marcel Sabitzer. We'll be discussing Antony's recent form as well. But thanks, everyone in the chat for joining. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment and all that. And if I can find the brand thing, we'll get going because now my computer's freezing.
I'll do it.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Nate. Sorry, mate.
All right, guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys soon.